This is World of Warcraft Plunderstorm launch trailer. I actually can't believe this. Wow, the likes are actually moving in real time. They've actually released an actual battle royale, which is incredible. I've never thought we'd see it, but I guess we have our MMO battle royale. Now, there is a few others, but this one looks like it's actually the battle royale of MMOs. Let's look into this, guys.
Ahoy there! Hope you're ready for a bit of plundering fun. All hands on deck.
Okay, I like pirates.
Time to see what ye sea dogs are made of. There be treasure awaiting.
Oh boy. Earn epic plunder. Oh man, look at that. There's a crown, guys.
The plundering adventure's about to begin.
It's already started, March 19th. What the hell is this? Should delete that race from the game. You know, actually, it looks like it's teams of 2 or something. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. There's more information, I'm sure. But, yo, the fact that they have this. The one thing I want to say, though, is when WoW does trailers like this, it just obviously shows that the game is, you know, from like the year 2004. Like, this trailer feels like something you'd watch in 2005 or 6 or something. You know, but, you know, I like that Blizzard's actually embraced it. Like, it's part of the meme at this point. I mean, just look at the animations. But, yo, this is hype, man. I would like to get into this. We're actually going to do this on Sunday. We have to do this on Sunday. All right. Well, we're playing this. There's like another video that actually goes through the information. I think it's this one. It's 12 minutes, guys. Blizzard, get ready for Plunderstorm. Let's watch this, actually.
Hey everyone, welcome to WoWcast. We have a very exciting topic today, and with me I have 2 special guests.
Hi, I'm Orlando Salvatore. I'm a lead software engineer on WoW.
Is the volume good, guys?
Hi, Bethany. Happy to be here. I'm Jeremy Fiesel. I'm Associate Game Director on WoW.
So, what is that black flag on the road?
Bro, look at this, by the way. Look at the content they have, guys. Like, Seeds of Renewal. I think this came out already. Then you have 10.2.6, which is this. Then, bro, Season 4. Oh, my God. There's just so much content in this game. Insane. Actually insane.
Roadmap for 2024.
So when we were thinking about what we wanted to deliver to the players in 2024, what we ended up landing on was that we wanted to do something a little bit different than the things that we did previously in Dragonflight. So that's what we're here to talk about today. It's a brand new event, and we're calling it Plunderstorm. It is a pirate-themed battle royale inspired event that takes place entirely within World of Warcraft and is available for all active WoW subscribers. All that said, what do we feel like is like the 3 sentences that encapsulate
I'm gonna say this, by the way. I think this could blow up
event
in a
that
good
takes
way
place
for WoW.
entirely within?
Because if this is intended to just be its own standalone game, I could see this being something like where you'll have even players who don't even play WoW will just play this. And all of a sudden you have a whole ton of, like, I don't know, 200 or 300 or 400,000 players dedicated to just this one game mode. That could eventually grow even further, which means they could also, funny enough, I could see this being also focused for consoles as well. So if this goes well enough, I actually think it could blow up for WoW in a very good way. I don't think any other MMO has figured that, like, let's have a different niche for the game that actually becomes very mainstream, but it makes enough money where then the actual game itself then does this. Fortnite was actually supposed to be like that. The PvE was going to be the main thing and the PvP was a side thing. But then the PvP in Fortnite, the Battle Royale, blew up so much because they implemented like the same model from PUBG to the point where Fortnite just switched to PvP and just the PvE became the backseat for it. Now, I don't think that takes place in WoW because WoW's PvE is pretty amazing for the most part, right? They have a pretty solid foundation in retail and in classic. So it could still be something where this becomes more mainstream for them.
Within World of Warcraft and is available for all active WoW subscribers. All that
It's fully standalone and not connected to your character in retail. Oh, there you have it. Yeah,
Said.
it's a good time to get into the game. Oh yeah.
what do we feel like is like the 3 sentences that encapsulates the coolest parts about it?
So Thunderstorm is World of Warcraft's take on a battle royale. It's an action-oriented game that lets you customize your build and basically your class every single match. You'll be able to start collecting abilities through chests and by killing monsters, even killing other players, all while trying to avoid a collapsing storm that is pushing players together.
Yeah.
Whoever is the last team standing ends up winning.
So
and
did you say teams of 4?
monsters, even killing other players, collecting abilities through chests and basically your class every single match. Oriented game that lets you customize your build and basically your class every single match. You'll be able to start collecting abilities through chests and by killing monsters, even killing other players, all while trying to avoid a collapsing storm that is pushing players together. Whoever is the last team standing ends up winning. And you don't need to go through a quest line, you don't need to go through any previous content to be able to access this. This is immediately accessible for anybody who's an active WoW player.
Yeah, so very standalone. Yeah.
We expect even the most casual player to be getting tons of plunder and tons of rewards every day. You might even say that the first minute or two are really a little bit more on the PvE side of things, where you're out fighting monsters, you're collecting a new set of abilities, and there isn't a huge amount of PvP combat until later on in the match. And I think it's important that that's like the core of the game, is that plundering, getting out and collecting chests and collecting items. You don't have to be the last person standing on the map in order to get a whole bunch of rewards.
Should steal this idea. I actually said something like this years ago, by the way. I actually said Guild Wars 2 should develop a Battle Royale version. And people told me, like, like, that makes no sense whatsoever. I actually said this during COVID, during 2020. So all those who doubted that MMOs could make a Battle Royale, there you have it. Well, the biggest one just did.
Even just by dropping into the map and completing your starter quest, it gives you a bunch of rewards just for doing the usual things you would do for the first couple of minutes. And so no matter what, you should exit that map with a bunch of plunder, even if you're not the last person standing. So as we were thinking about what the best framework for this would be, it just came to us that, hey, it should actually be an event that feels like it's a little bit outside of the main system. So we talked and we riffed about, hey, what would be the best theme for an event like that?
Yeah.
We landed on pirates.
Pirates is a good theme.
Because who doesn't love pirates? It's a fun theme, but also there's all these different pirate crews around
I'll do it with you. Why not?
Azeroth, and you've got to
I
ask
thought we were going on Friday.
yourself the question, if you're not the hero of Azeroth, what are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
That's a great question.
So we're gonna actually track some of our civilian NPC friends and play as those characters as one of the pirate crews within Azeroth that isn't the hero of Azeroth. All of that came together to give us this theme of Kegleg's crew and the pirate crew.
Yeah, when all the players go to sleep, this is what the NPCs do. Like when the game's like under maintenance, this is what they do.
Plundering these relics that are being transported across the Highlands.
What will players see when they jump into this new event?
When players enter this new event, they're going to notice that a lot of their core things that they're used to in World of Warcraft are different. When they get into the main menu, they'll have a brand new option available to them, which is the Plunderstorm button. They click on that, that takes them to a separate menu, which shows their character and their friends list, and they'll be able to invite players to their party all through the main menu. Normally you need to go into the game to invite another player into your party, but through Plunderstorm, you're actually inviting them through the main menu. Once you're partied up, or if you want to go in solo,
I'm assuming, is it only duo? Because it looks like you can only go with 2 people.
you queue up and load into a match. When you load into a match, you'll notice that you're invited into a pre-game lobby area where you're able to try out new abilities and try out different mechanics that exist within Plunderstorm.
So one of the coolest things about designing Plunderstorm has been just figuring out where we can break the rules in World of Warcraft. TLDR, when you're thinking about changing up things that dramatically, it no longer made a huge amount of sense for your main character and everything associated with that character, all of your armor sets and all of the weapons and everything that you've collected over the years in your battle pets and your 36 different abilities doesn't necessarily translate directly into this game mode. We wanted to start fresh and do crazy new abilities.
Again, this is very smart on them because this now invites players who don't even want to play WoW, right? They just want to play this one thing, plunder. So very good decision on that. it should be like its own kind of separate little thing. It's in the world, but at the same time, it stands on its own as a different game.
So, as Jeremy mentioned, there's going to be brand new abilities that normally you wouldn't see on classes or characters in there. Because when you're thinking about developing a warrior ability, you want it to feel very warrior-esque. Or you're developing a mage ability, you want it to feel mage-esque. Well, this, you don't have a class. You're actually going to be building a brand new kit every single time you're going into a match. And your builds may vary match to match because it all depends on what drops for you in the match. Even things
I want to play WoW just for this though. You may not, but others might actually do it, right? There's some players who just, this is like a specific game mode that they'd like. So
things like auto attack doesn't work like how it works normally in WoW. It's going to be an active ability.
and again, if you have a sub to WoW, that doesn't mean you can only play this. You play this, and then they hope that maybe you convert to actually playing WoW itself. Right? I don't think their intention is like, this is just for these kind of players who love this kind of game. They probably are targeting, yeah, you're gonna play this game, you're gonna enjoy it. Hey, but then we also have like this whole fleshed out MMO. Maybe, just maybe that encourages you to also try it out because you're already paying for the sub.
That you're constantly using to attack.
But again, with anything, you'll have players who they like this kind of stuff. There's people who just want to play this kind of game mode. It's not really like, why would I won't play it? If you don't play it, someone else will.
Enemies. One thing that's just baked into your experience is that you're going to have a health pot that's always persistent. And we've slimmed down the UI compared to what World of Warcraft normally is. You may be used to the 12 buttons on your main action bar, and then you have a bunch of other action bars you can enable. Well, this actually only has 7 total buttons that you can press on an action bar. When you loot an item, it doesn't go to your bag. You don't have a separate frame that you're opening. Everything gets put directly onto your action bars, and then from there, that's also your spells. So you're able to cast spells, drop abilities, pick up abilities, all to one singular action bar without needing to manage anything else. So we've really streamlined and simplified the experience.
That whole thing, I think, ends up feeling just wildly different than the way World of Warcraft plays.
Or give it free. Use that dopamine that might cause people to buy. Used to be while they don't want to go back. Yeah, I mean, look, they could do 2 ways, right? Either they give it free and then they hope that people just love this one game mode, and maybe like the MTX of the store, like skins and stuff, like could be they make money on it, right? Or the second route, which is it's attached to the sub model. So that means you're subbed, which means they would maybe hope that players who do play it might feel, or some of them might feel obliged to also try out the actual game. So it's 2 methods to how they want to approach it. I think that's the method they wanted to go with the sub model because it's Blizzard. They're gonna milk the money. So I think it works in both ways, but yeah, each has its own disadvantage. If it's on its own, people might actually just play that, and then they might not get conversion to the actual MMO. Whereas if it's on the MMO sub model, then yeah, you also have that risk of like, well, people maybe don't feel like just paying the sub to try this, and then maybe even try the MMO, right? People who already are sub to the game will already try this, but then do new players come in with like, is $10 a month for this game worth it for them? Actually like subscribe for the game mode and then maybe try. So risk and reward here for both different scenarios.
Plays right now. Not only is it action-oriented combat, but you're grabbing your abilities from the ground and then putting them on your bar. You can swap the 4 different abilities as you find new and cool things, or that you find certain synergies that work really well together. And then there's different rarities.
It has Battle Royale. It's not the same though.
To the abilities
really
too. So you can get everything from uncommon, rare, all the way up to epic levels of these abilities. You get higher level abilities as you progress in the match, but you may also just get one really early in the match, get super lucked out, and you get epic fire whirl right at the very beginning, and then you can go and wreck some people. And that's one of the things I think that makes it super replayable. Not only do you get a kit of abilities that are always going to feel different in every match, but also how the power curve changes is also going to feel pretty different every match too.
Yeah, we've
Can you imagine that one guy collecting all the epics? Like that's gonna be like fighting Thanos or something. You beat all the players.
Experimented around with a lot of different spells and abilities, things that normally we couldn't do in World of Warcraft, and that's intentional as well. We want to make sure that when we're coming up with these brand new abilities, that they feel fresh, they feel awesome to press. It's not just about the min-max, but sometimes it's about the impact, oh man, I'm using an ability and this is just the most awesome ability I've ever seen. That's the type of stuff we want to inspire players to kind of jump into the next match and find even more cool stuff.
Oh, you could ride the freaking the hog, man. Look
one
at
of the reasons
that.
why I like playing duos is because it almost feels like you get twice as many abilities, and you can strategize. You're going to be the fire pirate, and I'm going to be the arcanosphere pirate.
So do solo players and duo players play together?
So the way it works is we have all duos in a match and all solos in a match. Duos, you can also, preform a party with a friend and be able to get into the match with them as well.
Or you can queue up.
I think that it would end up being a little unfair to have solo players on the battlefield with duo players, because
Yeah.
duo players are coordinating, they're coordinating their spells and abilities. We made it really easy to use the ping system in game, so that
So there's only duos. There's no
it's really
full
easy
player
for you to
squads.
communicate even if you're not talking with your partner. So they would already have an advantage, and we wouldn't want to disadvantage our solo player like that. I think that duos also has the revive mechanic too, which is super cool, especially if you're
The rewards here are good. They connect to your
a
normal
player
retail
that
account.
dies first,
Nice.
like I tend to.
Me too.
and
We
your
shouldn't be
partner
on the
can
same
come
team
and
then.
revive you. Absolutely
that
not.
wouldn't be
I'll
good.
be on Orlando's team.
So if your partner dies, you are able to revive them, but you're not reviving them the normal way you would revive a player in WoW. So you don't need to press any extra buttons or collect any spells or items that do this. This is actually just something that is kind of baked into the experience, that if you die, you'll have a ring around you, your partner can stand on you, and then you'll get revived and able to play the game again. Normally in World of Warcraft, when your character dies, you're looking at your character's corpse and seeing a release button on there. Well, with Plunderstorm, we knew that you wouldn't be able to release. So what are you going to be doing, looking at your corpse the whole time? Well, the engineers, got together and they decided, hey, let's add spectating mode to this. So once you die, you can actually spectate your teammate until you're either revived or, unfortunately, you're eliminated. And then once your team is eliminated, you can spectate anybody on the entire map.
Oh, that's actually nice. Spectate even after you, like, both team or your whole team's eliminated.
So we wanted to really make sure that we're kind of introducing new things in WoW that normally wouldn't exist in, Dragonflight or in Classic or another variation of WoW, and make this pretty unique to Plunderstorm. There's other things that we kind of broke the rules on too, which was there's no fall damage.
And everyone can double jump.
Everyone can double jump.
Bro, that's big. No fall damage. That's a little broken, no?
Double jump.
Just things that we thought were fun.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
These are things that we can't do in World of Warcraft, and that's intentional because that's built around a very different experience. But here we said, well, we love WoW's combat, but we want to change up how you interact with WoW's combat, and we wanted to not only make it different for fighting other players, but also fighting monsters. All the monsters have a different type of abilities that they're going to be able to attack you with. These aren't your normal just auto attack abilities whenever a mob gets on you. These are going to be actually telegraphed abilities that you're going to see cast in
Like mini bosses.
front of the monster and be able to sidestep it.
Okay.
So there's actual mechanics tied to all of the monsters that are in the match as well.
Like everything has become kind of more
Wait, that's me. Look at me. I'm in the game, guys. Check it out.
action-oriented combat, and that's one of the things we can accomplish when it's all encapsulated within an event.
On top of that, I think a really cool part of this mode is that there's multiple layers of how you play it. So there's not only the spell acquisition, which we talked about, but also you're leveling through this experience as well. You're getting more health, and you want to get that so that you hopefully by the end of the match have enough level under your belt and enough items under your belt that you can come out on top.
I want to know, what rewards can I get from Plunderstorm? Because I'm a huge collector and there's got to be something cool. It's plunder after all.
Oh yeah, no, we've got a ton of rewards, a ton of intentionally pirate-themed rewards coming your way in Plunderstorm. There's 40 renown levels that you can get with Keg Legs Crew, which
40
seems like a
renown
lot,
levels.
but you're going to zip through them pretty quickly. We want this to feel super, super rewarding. So expect to get a renown level, every 4 or 5 matches, at least a renown level a day for even your casual gamer. Every renown level that you level up has a reward associated with it. Everything that you unlock in this mode is also going to unlock in your transmog set for all of your main World of Warcraft characters.
Wow, wow. So you still get the skins in the main account.
And then there's a
that's
couple
nice.
of classic rewards in there as well. If you're a World of Warcraft classic player, you can get a pet and a mount from this.
Is there anything you're doing to make Plunderstorm fair for all players?
One of the things we started discussing early on was whether or not we would support add-ons or try to put the majority of the information players were looking for in the game world and in the mode.
Yeah, World of Warcraft players are some of the smartest players in the world, and we're super excited for our players to check this out. One thing that we knew, though, is that we wanted a level playing field for all players to be
No
able to
add-ons.
play with. Third-party add-ons are awesome, and they're super cool to see, and what the community comes up with is amazing. But for this, we really wanted everybody to have the same exact experience, which also made it challenging to make the event as well, because we need to make everything super obvious. When you're casting spells or you're attacking enemies, those things, we won't have any assistance from any other add-ons. So
I think that's very good actually to have that. Is that make it even, and because this was also deter some players away who maybe actually just want to go in and have fun. Oh, I got to download this, I got to download that, I got to update this. So yeah, I agree. to not rely. It makes sense in the main game because you kind of need them, but not in this one.
We need to make the game really streamlined and approachable in that way.
We've really spent extra time iterating on the UI and the UX, the visual effects in game to make sure everything is as clear as possible.
Is Plunderstorm a reoccurring event?
You know, we're really looking forward to seeing what players think of this event. It's a brand new thing for us. It's super unique and cool and different. And depending on player feedback, we will see what the future of Plunderstorm looks like. We would love to bring it back in some form. If you like Plunderstorm, you know, please get on the forums, please get on social media. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you would like to see in a future iteration of it. I think importantly, now that we've got all this great backbone tech set up for creating these sort of in-game events, we can definitely look forward to making more in the future. So let us know what you think.
Feedback is super important for us. It's actually something that we take very seriously, not only
Very good.
Externally, but also internally. And we want to make sure this is a fun experience. So just like Jeremy said, get on the forums, get on social media. Let us know what you think.
I am so excited to play Plunderstorm, and I'm sure all of you are
I'm gonna
as well.
plunder, guys.
Thank you so
We're gonna plunder.
much for joining me.
Thanks, Bethany. It was great to be here, and we will see you in the Plunderstorm.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. See you
this
guys
is
next
the last
time.
second chilling. I like it. World of Warcraft. There you go, guys. Wow. Plunderstorm. Wow. Okay. World of Warcraft players are some of the smart players in the world. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Oh boy. Oh, we need to make something super obvious. Oh, that's it's like literally. The thing is, like he says it like literally 20 seconds later. Oh boy. Nice. Nice. All right. Well, there you go. Yeah, I'm actually excited. I would love to try this out. Why not? There's quite a lot. Honestly, like just this content that they have here. Like, look at what they have over here. There's just so much content going on here. Like, and this is like before this expansion releases at the end of the year. Insane, insane. Anyway, Plunderstorm. We're gonna plunder together. Why not?